Hey everybody, today I'm going to do my MAC Eyeshadow Palette collection video. So basically, in my last video I showed my MAC Eyeshadow Palette and it was requested for me to go through each individual shade and kind of, show you guys, because I know this palette, can get pretty costly, so you really want to make sure, you like the color you're going to get. Most of the shades that I have I bought offline because I do not have a MAC counter or store that close to me. Whenever I'm looking into buying a new color, I do extensive research on it, if that makes any sense, because, not like scientific research, but just to make sure, the color is going to be worth that $12 and however much shipping costs that I'm spending. Now I looked online and the palette itself, so just what holds the eyeshadows, costs $16, and then each individual shade is another $12. Basically, I was kind of afraid at first to do the math for how much I've spent so far on my palette, but I was like, whatever. 13 out of 15 shades so far, and when I did the math, I've spent $172 to build this palette so far. When I was thinking about that, I was like, $172 could have bought like 3 naked palettes from Urban Decay. Honestly, I would much rather have those 3 naked palettes from Urban Decay. And I mean, I know there's only 2 of them, but like, say you just bought like 2 of the naked 2 palettes or whatever, it doesn't matter. Basically, the fact is that this is overly priced and honestly not really worth it besides a few select shades. So this video is to help you guys save your money and realize you do not need 15 or however many MAC eyeshadows. You pretty much should just buy one of the quads, which have 4 shadows, and kind of just fill it up with the ones that you think are really worth it. In this video, I'm not actually going to do a swatch of each individual color, just because my camera kind of sucks at focusing when I'm in video form. So I took pictures of each color, and I'm going to write the name of the eyeshadow with it, so you'll be able to see that. Really quick, I'm kind of going to go through and rate on a scale from 1 to 5. If I think, a 1 being totally not worth it, or a 5, you have to go out and buy it for each color. As you can see, most of my shades are neutrals just because that's kind of what I tend to go for in an eyeshadow look. Starting up here, I have 2 brow bone shades. I have Crystal Avalanche and I have Vanilla. I've actually hit pan on Vanilla. There's 3 different colors in this palette that I've hit pan on. So, it's really kind of like, what's the word? I don't know, like I feel good about myself when I hit pan on an eyeshadow. Crystal Avalanche is basically just a white frosty shade, and I would give this a 1. This color 4 is pretty much an inner corner highlight, and honestly, I don't even do that much. So the shade next to it is Vanilla, and this one I would probably give a 4 out of 5, just because for a really long time it was my everyday highlight that I would put underneath my brow bone. But then I discovered Foxy by Urban Decay, which is 10 times better because this isn't that pigmented and it's kind of chalky. 2 colors that I like to use kind of for blending eyeshadows out, and the first one is Rice Paper, which is kind of just a yellowy toned highlight. So I do not like to put this under my brow bone because I do not want there to be like some big blotch of yellow on my face. But I would give this probably a 3.5 out of 5. Just because it is really silky, it's good to blend out your shades, and overall it's a pretty color. Next to that is Kid by MAC, and when I bought this offline, and ordered it, I was really hoping that I would fall in love with it because it looks like it's a gorgeous matte kind of like brownish taupe color, but really soft. I got it, I soon discovered, it's not pigmented, it's kind of chalky, and basically it's going to have to be a blending color. A good dupe for that would probably be Tease by Urban Decay, and I know I'm saying a lot of dupes, so if you guys ever want me to do a dupe video for this palette, I'll definitely do that, so I'm just going to shut up for the rest of the colors and not say any more dupes. I have a couple lid colors, and then I go into the crease colors. One is Woodwinked by MAC. And this one I would give a 5 out of 5 just because it's really silky, it's really blendable, the color is absolutely gorgeous and unique. It's a bronzish color, but it's kind of like brown, but like champagne at the same time. I don't know how to explain it. But, what was I gonna say? Yeah, you'll see it in the swatch. Next shade is down here, the second level, and this is Just. And this is pretty much very similar to the next color, which I'll talk about in a second. But it's like a pinky champagne, and it's really silky, really blendable. I would give it a 4 out of 5. Next to it, you can see I hit pan on this as well. And this is called Naked Lunch by MAC. So it's one of the cult favorites here on YouTube. And I honestly believe it deserves that kind of hype about it. It's a beautiful champagne color, very similar to Just, but I don't know, there's something about it that makes me like it more, so I would give it a 5 out of 5. The shade that I hit palette on is a golden champagne color, and I'm pretty sure you can probably guess which shade this is if you're into MAC eyeshadows, and it's All That Glitters. I don't know, I'm kind of like, I'm on the fence about this, whether or not it deserves a 4 or a 5. Just because, you know, it's very hyped up. I think it deserves to be hyped up, but then at the same time, there's probably a lot of shades out there that are similar to it, if not better, and off the top of my head, I can think of many dupes for it. I guess I'm going to go ahead and say it's one of the ones that you do need if you're into MAC shadows, and I would give it a 5. Next to that is called Honey Lust, and this I'd probably have to give a 2 out of 5. Just because, you know, it's one of those typical golden shadows, but the thing that makes it a 2 is the fact that it's very gritty. There's a lot of fallout, but then at the same time, it's not pigmented at all. The last shade in this row is actually what I'm wearing in my crease today, and it's called Satin Taupe. And this is another hyped up shadow. I would give it a 5 out of 5 just because it's a gorgeous taupe color, has a little bit of frost to it, and almost like a hint of purple in it. But overall, it's a really gorgeous shade and you have to have it. My last row of shadows, and this first one right here is called Cork. And basically it's kind of like a muddy brown color. I would give it a 1 out of 5 just because for personal preference I haven't used it much. It's pretty chalky, not pigmented, and overall it doesn't really look that good on the lid. The next shade is pretty. I would give it, okay, my personal opinion is a 2 out of 5 just because I rarely ever use it, but it's not because the color and the formula isn't good, it's just because I feel like it was a waste of my money. But if you tend to go for more kind of colors, I would definitely give it a 4 probably. See in the swatch for Star Violet after the video that it's like a purplish bronze color, but it actually is really pretty in the crease if you do kind of like matte shades everywhere else. Last color that's in my palette, I'm not even sure what the name is. I'm gonna have it, you know, posted on the swatch, whatever the name is, but it's just a silver color, and personal preference score 2 out of 5 because I don't really use silvers that much. But overall, it is really creamy and silky, and if you do like silvers, then I would definitely go ahead and buy this one. That's all the colors that I have in my MAC eyeshadow palette. So the swatches will follow after this, and I'm sorry if, you know, they're not the best swatches, but I recommend, you know, going on Google, searching the colors more, and, you know, overall, MAC eyeshadows, they're worth it, but then at the same time, they're not worth it. I hope this video helped you guys a little bit, and please leave me more requests. I really did appreciate this one. I feel like this video was really helpful, especially, you know, when I was buying shades for my palette, I was going and looking at videos like this. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.